What is with the weather? I got up this morning and it was 2 out here. The forecast said it would be 5, so we closed all the shutters. We've not had a fire since Sunday, maybe even Saturday, because obviously we had mild weather on Monday. It was 19 in the afternoon. So we haven't had the wood burner going, and we've been using the gas fire when it's cold, in the evening. And I've had that on this morning, but it's just not enough now. It is so cold out here. I think it's probably a little warmer, but my thermometer's stopped working, so I can't tell. I think many places in Europe had um, that same temperature. I saw that somewhere in Poland had 19 degrees Celsius as well, and it's been described as a weather event, which is sort of an unusual. To have a hot weather event in January is like, it's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. Um, God knows what the weather's going to be like for 2023. We had, I think we had at least 4 heat waves or canicules last year, and I hate them. And I hope that we don't have that again this year. I just don't know how. It's like I'm going to have to adapt, aren't I? Because that's the way it's going. But I'd rather it didn't. It's really, really shocking. So Mark's lighting the fire. I can hear him coming out to go and collect some more wood from our load of wood. Um, I'm gonna tell you what I'm cooking today. I'm doing Cajun chicken, and it's a fast 800 meal. It's Cajun chicken and it's polenta with. Normally it's with cauliflower rice and parmesan, but I don't have cauliflower and I don't want to go out. But I do have a celeriac, so I'm going to use grated celeriac instead of the cauliflower, um, which will be fine. It'll just make it taste different. So that's what we're having for our main meal at lunchtime, and then I've got some large prawns that I bought before Christmas that were in the freezer, and I've taken those out to defrost during the day, and we'll have those. We just have those with mayonnaise. There's like about 5 each with mayonnaise, but they're big prawns, so we'll have a day of not a lot of food, or enough food, enough food. Um, all of the Christmas food's gone. Yesterday I used up the remains of the turkey and the remains of the tagine sauce. Added some chickpeas to that, and we had that with some sticky rice. We had half a mince pie because there was one mince pie left. I think that was it. So there's nothing Christmassy left in the house, which I'm pleased about. I'm always pleased to see the back of all that stuff. Um, and I still have food that I need to use before I can do a shop based around the whole Fast 800 menu. I still, I've got a lot of meat that I bought, so but that's okay. I can do, I can cook meat and just serve it with green veg, and it'll be fine. There's a lot of chicken in the Fast 800 menu, and a lot of red peppers. I've got one red pepper, a lot of red peppers, a lot of tomatoes, and the tomatoes are just crap at this time of the year. I've got some in the fridge that have been in the fridge since I did my Christmas shopping, and the ones because I don't keep tomatoes in the fridge, but because I'd bought planning for later salads, I had them in the fridge. But the ones outside the fridge hadn't kept, and I know the ones inside the fridge are looking manky as well. They may get dumped. I hate dumping food. I feel really bad when I dump food. I dumped a cucumber, 1.5 cucumbers. They just don't. I don't know. I don't know why they don't keep. They just don't keep. So by the time I do get to, because over Christmas I'm not really doing salad. So by the time I get to make a salad, it's like cucumber's gone. So I have dumped some food. I don't like dumping food. It feels terrible to be dumping food when people don't have food. But I do try hard to use any leftovers and make food out of what I have, and I've done that with some of the food. So that's today. We're not going anywhere. We're not walking. Definitely not walking. I yeah, definitely not walking today. Might walk tomorrow, depending on how I feel. I feel well enough to walk today, but by the time I'd done 200 yards, my hips were really sore, and I'd still got quite a bit to do. So I need to give myself a day off. Somebody asked. Somebody asked. Scorchette. I think it was Scorchette said, "What chateau were you going to? What chateau were you near?" And I was thinking, "Oh, you want me to pinpoint where I live?" So I won't be mentioning that. So that's it. I've, as you see, I've asked for help with my mobile phone. I got Phil to do the thumbnail because I want it to be seen. It's important to me that it gets seen. But somebody's already said it's not your phone, it's your SIM card. So I suspect that all I need to do when I get to Canada is just to buy another SIM card and put it in the phone. So that'll be good. And I'll buy another SD card for storage just in case. Yeah, so that's it. Anyway, have a lovely day, have a lovely evening. I lost a friend yesterday, Irene, aka Hardworking Hippie. She died yesterday. I had a message from her just before Christmas because I send e-cards, and with the e-cards you can send a thank you note. And I had a message from her just before Christmas saying, "I'm fading now. I'm fading fast," or something like that. And it was really sad. My heart had been lifted when I'd seen that she'd seen the e-card, because I knew she was very sick. So I thought, oh, she's okay. She's, seen the e-card. So my heart was lifted. But when I read what she'd written, it was like, so it sounds like 2 weeks. She, I think she made it through Christmas and the New Year. But by the time you're at the point that she was, you don't really care. I'm sure you don't really care whether it's Christmas or New Year. But she's had, I think, an extra 10 months based around the palliative chemo she had. She had quite an aggressive cancer that wasn't curable. I can't remember the name of it, something like it was a asbestosis type cancer that she'd caught, or that she had she ended up with it because of work that she'd done years ago when she was living in Britain, and she's been in France for years and years and years, and she's really very well known in the permaculture sphere. So she's left her mark, her positive mark, on a lot of people. She's held in high esteem by a lot of people, and it's such a sad loss. So rest in peace, Irene. If there is a heaven, and I don't believe in heaven, and I'm not sure she did, but if there is, try to behave yourself.